Alrighty, hello everybody, this is Kira's show here. Now, when we last left off, we had just had Izuki learn about her bubble, if not her, shield. Now, she was basically explained in further detail after getting this somewhat talked to, if not seeing it on TV as a pro, as someone describing a hero's quirk. She would have saw that they described their quirk as a force shield. But the way it works is if they get too many hits in, or basically too much force on it, it can hurt by damaging a part of their brain, linked with telepathy. If not, a part of their brain that involves telekinesis. So it's somewhat like that. Now, with that being said, she would have understood exactly what this means, because it's basically her mixing these two portions of her quirk, basically creating an invisible shield, but for herself to feel better about it and not knowing it's there, her mind immediately starts mixing in her darkness with it, making it to where she can see it and actually properly use it. Because with the Invisible Woman, I feel like her powers in the Fantastic Four, you know that took years of training to probably even master, if not even become a novice at. You can't even see what you're moving, if not where you're putting something, unless you think about it as hard as possible. So this at least gives her a bit of an edge on that. Now, she was 8 years old, and I did say, if not, I am stating now that there will be a 4-year time skip. In that time, she has learned more about this, and she has also learned a bit more martial arts, along with getting physically stronger. She has now gotten to the point where she could be considered a master, if not a very good person, in control of her quirk and in combat. Now, she has learned Krav Maga and actually mastered Kung Fu and Karate, along with boxing and Taekwondo. Learning Krav Maga, she is very good at it. It's just that with the fact that it's considered to be a very brutal form of combat, along with the fact that it's something she uses to control her emotions, if not try and train, she often loses control sometimes. So in order to combat that, her being considered very good at it, she has considered mixing the fighting styles. Somewhat like doing, what Mace Windu, I believe, the guy with the purple lightsaber from Star Wars. He is considered to be a perfectly balanced Jedi, balanced between good and evil. So, the Council, still believing that he could turn into a Sith, him combating that by creating his own personal fighting style. Brutal but elegant, with pinpoint accuracy. Basically in order to show that he is perfectly in control and stable of his emotions. Her doing the same. Now, she would be considered very skilled and very talented, as she would go to school one day, finding that Todoroki and Momo, they're already talking and actually getting somewhat stronger. She can physically tell Todoroki's stronger because he's gotten a lot more muscular over the years. Momo, she's gotten a lot more intelligent, with the fact being that she does train, but she doesn't do it as intensely as they usually do. If not, she's gotten better control with her quirk more than anything else, so it takes her less fat lipids in her body. Now, with that being said, she does work on physically running, if not being a very fast opponent. So, this is just one thing she's been trying to figure out. Now, she would arrive at school one day as people are somewhat commenting on this. People do think that the fact being she didn't wear her hoodie today is a little bit weird, and someone asking questions about her hair. Asking exactly why is it a mix of, green and white. Her having to explain that. Hang on. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Now, her having to explain that her hair is a bit different. Because her hair is green, but it does carry the white streaks, if not different color tips. So, she'd have to explain that because her dad's hair is not actually the color black, him just dyeing it so he looks less intimidating, and it actually being white. Which people's now picturing Trigon with white hair, somewhat can see why he dyes it, because that is not a very good mental image. In fact, it's very creepy. Now, she is actually asking and talking with Momo and Todoroki, finding that they are going to be training again. But there has been a bit of events happening in the background. Momo, she has been thinking about, well, talking and asking Todoroki out. Which, obviously, for the fact that they're now childhood friends and actually pretty good at knowing each other, she somewhat sees this as a bit more difficult, because she thinks Izuki may like him. Well, while Izuki, she does see Todoroki as a very nice and, well, polite guy, she doesn't see him in that way, often just seeing him as a strong opponent. Along with the fact that having a boyfriend would kind of make it harder for her to control her emotions. So, probably not the right time. Now, this is whenever they are walking home one day, and Momo's bodyguard, she actually is not telling them today, as she has confidence in Yaoyorozu. Of course, after giving her firearms training and, well, combat training. Along with the fact that she has been taking acrobatics. So she should be better, if not well rounded. Now, Todoroki, he has taken martial arts before, but only the one his dads have told him about, if not trained him in at a young age. Also being the fact that he's gotten better control of his quirk, so he can throw fireballs if he wants to, or he can just hold out his fingers, throwing pillars of ice straight from his hand. So he at least is seen as a better tactician when it comes to fighting. Now, they are going to go over to Momo's house for the day, as it is, well, bigger and has more room for actual sparring, because they can just use the grounds in the backyard to fight. Now then, Todoroki, he would immediately spar off, if not bring his hands up, as he is told he is going up against Izuki first. He thinks that he'll at least try to hold back a little bit, because he does know about the whole defensive thing, but it's still being that he thinks that they're just going to start out with regular combat first and then work their way up to using their quirks. Yeah, not a really good idea. Izuki, as soon as she hears go, would immediately begin by bringing her hands up and then immediately creating darkness around her, as she immediately just starts blasting at him. Todoroki is confused as he immediately just turns his side over and immediately just stomps his leg in front of him, immediately waving his hand forward, creating a giant wall of ice. As this will help him, and Izuki immediately just blasts through the wall. He would watch as she begins walking forward. Now, she would immediately bring her arms up, if not her hands up, and he immediately sees this, as he does the same, getting ready to fight her. He immediately just realizes that he's going to have to use, his quirk, so he immediately begins by just blasting ice at her direction, as she just moves upwards into the sky. She is able to stay calm, if not that under pressure, as she is doing so. she is able to take down, if not eventually, fight with Todoroki to the point where these two, it's basically come down to the fact that Todoroki's holding up an ice wall and she's blasting darkness at him. Todoroki would have tried blasting fire at her, but the fact being she just immediately creates a shield in front of her, walking straight through it. He is surprised exactly how strong this is, until he does blast pillars upon pillars of ice at it. Immediately just watching as it does crack, and he does see her actually physically wince at it, but her just repairing the shield. Now, this is whenever he would have gotten close enough to actually grapple her, and he would have grabbed her, pushing her, if not, throwing her to the ground, as she would have immediately just turned, sweeping her leg underneath his feet, and immediately coming up, smashing her hand to his nose as she would have punched him in the face. Todoroki, he would have been thrown backwards if not off guard, as he's a bit confused, as she actually kinda just broke his nose. Now he'd actually just bring his hand up to hold his nose, and he would just look up, seeing the intense look on her face as she does actually just somewhat calm down. Now Momo would actually break up the fight, and, well, make a first aid kit, where she would give Todoroki some bandages. Ooh, and something to stop the bleeding. Now then, as that's happening, Izuki, she's actually apologizing, saying that that was a bit too far. Sorry. Well, you're fine, but what was that? That was Krav Maga. Are you serious? Yeah, and the leg sweep was a bit of kickboxing. And karate. Sorry. So you're making you're mixing your fighting styles? Well, I'm also trying to use them with my quirk, so it's not that all weird. As these two are talking, Momo does notice that the fact that these two are somewhat sparking off of one another and actually talking very well. Which is whenever she would try inserting herself in the conversation by just saying that Todoroki, he shouldn't really be surprised. In fact, he knows just as many as fighting styles as her, right? Which is whenever he would begin to name off his own. Karate? Check. Boxing? Check. A shoe-style martial art, which I will find, because I do want to make it a bit different. I don't want them to learn the same thing. And then a different form of boxing, if not martial arts. I want to say Tai Chi. So, he would just name off those, and he's trying to come up with 2 more, which he's having trouble. Which is whenever Izuki would somewhat just joke around, saying that it seems that she has the bigger number than his. So she wins. Which is whenever they'd all somewhat laugh, as there'd be a bit of news on the TV. One of the maids, if not one of the help, would immediately run outside and tell them that there is something going on. As they would all run inside, watching that there is a battle going on the news. Now, this battle is a bit different. If not, it's something people do not expect. It is Trigon versus Endeavor, which is a bit confusing. Now, the thing that throws people off about what's going on the TV is that this is Endeavor. Apparently, he's betrayed the Hero Association, which does not make sense at all. There's clearly something at play here, but that doesn't make sense. Why would Endeavor betray the heroes? He's the number 3 hero. Now, Todoroki is just staring blankly, if not just in shock. Momo would immediately turn looking at him as she immediately turns to her right, looking at Izuki. Just watching as all color, if not all, Emotion comes back to her face. She's just trying to hold back tears, if not trying to hold back what's going on. Because from the point of view the news is saying, if not the way the way she heard it at first, it was her dad who betrayed the hero organization. Until they went further onto the broadcast watching as these two would begin the battle. Now, they basically took out, if not they're taking down, an entire city block and making it scorched earth. Or eventually we come to the point where Endeavor, he gets engulfed by something. He gets engulfed by a black liquid as it would take him away. Trigon being taken away in an ambulance. Now, whenever he was taken away, Izuki actually did see the damage to her father. He has a scar over his chest, a burn mark on his eye, if not, well, a cut to his face, and he may actually be missing an arm. Missing being the word, as that arm looks so damaged and mangled it may not even be salvageable. So whatever has happened, it's not good. She would immediately turn her head looking at Todoroki as he would just be so angry, he would just turn around and walk away, not saying a single word. Now, Izuki would have tried saying something, but he would have just kept walking away. As she would do one simple thing. She's standing there and she immediately gets so angry she just throws her hand, if not fist, in the TV to shut it off. As she does just drop to her knees, crying. Momo is confused at exactly what just happened, and she would immediately ask if she's okay. She would say that she'll be fine, it's just she needs to leave now. Which is whenever Momo would say she kinda can't. You need to, bandage your hand, you're bleeding. Which is whenever she would immediately just grab a bandage, pull out every piece of glass she can, and immediately just wrap it up. Immediately flying away. Now, at this point, she's kinda confused as what to do. From the broadcast, Endeavor just portrayed the entirety of the hero organization. And Trigon might be hurt very badly. Along with the fact that All Might, he was somewhat digging around the criminal underground. So that he can find out exactly what is going on with All for One. If not, if he is alive. So, this has caused somewhat of a predicament. Friendship shattered by betrayal. If not from a fight that never even was supposed to happen. Well, this is going to be a bit more difficult for them. Momo would be trying to get into contact with these two to at least talk to one of them. But they'd somewhat just, wall themselves off. Izuki not really coming to school, and Todoroki, whenever he does, he just sits alone. If not, he just keeps people away from him. He's trying to figure out exactly how to feel about things, while Izuki's just meditating all the time. Usually locking herself in her dad's weight room to figure out how he's going to, how to figure this out. This has proven to be a difficult challenge. But she would eventually go to see her father and find that he is awake, after 2 weeks of being in the hospital. Now, he didn't have to have his arm amputated due to the damage, if not force, but he is going to be left with quite a bit of nerve damage. As sometimes his hand will involuntarily activate his fire quirk. So they did have to create a specialized glove for him. Now, with that, he is going to be going through physical therapy, along with him having a bandage over 2 of his eyes. Meaning that he will have to work to get his eyesight back. If not, he is at least going to be blind in one of them. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and have an amazing day. I will catch you guys in the next part.